So, welcome, friends. Welcome to our meditation time during this week of Thanksgiving. So, I just encourage you to get comfortable where you are. Just either sit up nice and tall and really ground down, or allow yourself just to stretch out if you're laying down. And just really feel the anchoring of the space where you are. So that as your eyes close and the distractions become less, you can really just settle. And so as you settle, begin to notice your breath. Don't ever take for granted and just skip that step. It is so important. The breath grounds us. It keeps us in the present moment. And it calms all those frayed edges that we tend to go through the day with. And so just notice the in-breath and notice the out-breath. And just let it just kind of wash over you. That awareness, that anchoring. And here we are, the week of Thanksgiving. If it was up to me, we could talk about gratitude all 12 months of the year. That practice can really change something about us internally. But I do appreciate the fact that we do have a chance this week just to remind ourselves of the importance of being grateful. It doesn't matter what the stories of the history books tell us. What matters is the gratitude in our hearts today. And as I was thinking about our time, these minutes that we get to share, I was inspired by the 2-year-old that I've been spending a lot of time with today. And every time we would do something, we would always say to him, what do you say? And he would immediately come back with thank you. And we'd say, you're welcome, and that he did a good job. And we'd move on throughout the day. And then something else would come up that he'd ask for, that he'd want, and we'd give it. And then we'd say again, what do you say? And he'd come back with thank you again. And we'd affirm. And I just kind of watched that interplay. I did it with my own daughter, as many of you have done if you are parents. And now here I am doing it with my grandson. And so I just paused for just a few moments and thought, why do we do this? Why do we practice teaching our kiddos to say thank you? Is it really about growing up kids into teenagers, into adults who just have good manners? Or is it something more? And while it is a beautiful thing to watch people with good and kind and considerate manners just move throughout the world, I believe that somewhere along the line, this practice was really about developing a sense of gratitude in our little ones so that it could begin to manifest and grow. And it wouldn't be so much that we would turn into these adults who just said thank you for things, but rather we would turn into adults who really deep in our hearts could feel gratitude, could feel gratefulness, could truly feel appreciation. And so then I began to wonder, is it because when you're 2, life is not very hard? You're not dealing with struggles and challenges. You're not navigating through suffering and hardship. But isn't that the time that we need gratitude the most? I know that as we all head into this Thanksgiving holiday, each of us in our family celebrating it or not in our own ways. For some of us, it signifies this beautiful mark of the holiday season as it begins. For others, it's a hard time because you notice empty seats at the table, or maybe you don't have people that you celebrate with. But regardless of what that 4th Thursday of November looks like for you and your family, I'd like to use our meditation practice in the coming days, starting now, to really go back to this idea of, why are we grateful? Is it just about the manners of saying thank you? Or is it really about the state of our heart? I would propose that because we show up and we practice this meditation time together, that we think it's worth more than just the manners. We think there must be something here cultivating this spirit within us. So how do we maintain that when, first of all, no one's reminding us to say thank you? And second of all, when we face really difficult days, really challenging experiences, when our heart gets broken, when our life goes a direction that we had not planned or anticipated for. How do we find gratitude even there? And so I thought that maybe today, in the spirit of what I've been experiencing all day with my 2-year-old grandson, we would just practice the reminder. The same way that when he asked for something and he got it, and I reminded him what he needed to say. Maybe here we could practice that together. Not the audible words of thank you, but just that pause in our heart of having a spirit of gratitude. That pause in our heart of just having this sense that even in the midst of tough times, we're grateful. And so I want to start with the easy things. And I want you just to each imagine what nature looks like for you. For some of you, you picture mountains. Others picture the beach. Others picture the forest. Others picture your backyard. But when I say the word nature, what do you see? What's your most favorite thing? And then I want to remind you, be grateful for it. Maybe a smile comes to your face as you picture it. Maybe this warm sensation comes across your heart. Maybe it triggers a special memory, but be grateful for nature. And then begin to picture your journey. Picture your journey of development from when you were little, as you began to grow up and go through all the awkward things that we all went through, and then you became an adult. Just see your journey and be so grateful that we're still on it. As we think about empty chairs at Thanksgiving around the table, not every life is still here on the journey. Be so grateful that you are. And then see your people, your circle, your tribe, your community, whatever word resonates with you, see them. The ones you want to spend time with. The ones you want to call when something wonderful happens. The ones you want to call when something terrible happens. See their faces. And I want to remind us, be grateful for them. And then let's turn it inward. And feel that breath, feel that in-breath, feel that out-breath. And let's remember not to take it for granted. It's what's here keeping us on the journey. As you breathe in, just think, I'm so grateful for the breath. And as you breathe out, just think, I am so grateful for this incredible process in my body that allows me to hold on to the nutrients and let go of the rest. Don't take it for granted. Say thank you for it. And then perhaps you you open your eyes for a second and you look around this room where you are, the spot where you have found yourself, the seat where you are, just look around and take it all in. And then as you gently close your eyes again, be so grateful for your practice. Be grateful for the fact that it doesn't come with measurements and numbers and goals. It's a practice of this present moment. Where we've shown up is today in this moment, and that is what counts. Be so grateful for it. And then as we pause for just these next couple of moments in the quiet, I'd encourage you to just see what else comes up. What else do you need a reminder about personally to say thank you for, to feel gratitude for? Maybe something will come across your mind that you've taken for granted, that you do appreciate it, you just forget to say. But I believe that as we practice this, not only do we start to see our young little ones begin to do it on their own, I think that as adults, as we practice it, it starts to become a habit for us as well. We look up at the big blue sky and we just are so grateful. We look over at that beautiful fur baby, just so loyal, just sitting next to us, and we are so grateful. We hear the rain and we're grateful. We catch all the green lights on the way to work and we are so grateful. What if we could go through life finding gratitude at every turn? So just see what comes across your mind in these couple of quiet moments, and just as it comes across, you be the one that reminds yourself. Say thank you. Be grateful. And as we continue to breathe, continue to just sit in a spirit of gratitude, let's just think to ourselves before we close our practice, what could it be like if instead of this Thanksgiving holiday this year ushering in just a different mindset, what if it ushered in a completely different way of being? We honor the past. We honor the patterns of life that have brought us to this moment. We honor all of it. And then we look ahead with this idea of doing it just a bit differently from here on out. This spirit of gratitude can be the way that we wake up each day. It can be the way that we travel throughout our day. And it can be the last thought across our mind before we close our eyes and bring rest to our body. So just think about the power of what this practice could become for you. How this thing that started off many years ago as just learning a manner, learning a good habit. What if it could become a true way of life? Grateful for your presence, grateful for your practice, and grateful for the chance to share mine with you. Namaste.